Hey guys, what's happening? This is Forgo Nation. Today I thought I'd show a little love to Captain Marvel. We're going to push this girl as far as we can go. She has 41,700 energy attack. She has more or less max attack speed, 67 crit rate, 155 critical damage, which is really freaking low, guys. That's ridiculous. I mean, I need to get her bumped up a lot. I mean, she needs about 45% more crit rate to get that maxed out, so she's losing a crap ton of damage. She has max ignore defense and she has max dodge. I really need to get that dodge up a little bit, but since we're going to have Deadpool on our team, we're going to get an extra 6% crit rate. So she'll have 73% crit rate, so it'll be almost maxed out when he's as a striker. And then she has that max skill cooldown. And as you can see, she has the leadership, which we will be utilizing. All of her gears are at 25. She has all 5-star Urs and all amplified slots. I mean, I got some love in old Captain Marvel here. Now let's take a look at her skills, man. Guys, this character if you guys were gonna ask me which character should you tier 3 first, this is it. This is the one you should tier 3 because Captain Marvel really is just an all-around amazing character. She's free to play. Her uniform has a synergy, so when you buy the one uniform here, let's get into this. When you buy this uniform, you can get this uniform for a cheaper price and get the synergy. So you get all these freaking stats. If you just rank up one uniform, the other uniform gets all these stats automatically upgraded. You know, whenever one uniform's at rare rank, the other uniform will be at rare rank. Whenever one uniform's at mythic rank, the other uniform will be at mythic rank. And that is fantastic. Not only that, but she is amazing in PvP, and the reason she's amazing in PvP is because of this 4 skill. This thing has ignore iframe. It is amazing. Now, I don't think she's the best in PvP, but she is ridiculous, and she's up there in the metas as far as PvP is concerned. She is insane. Any character that goes in an iframe, she can get a hold of them and pretty much destroy them. There are situations where she can get killed, like if Silver Surfer uses his 3rd skill, which ignores iframe. He can get a hold of her, but it's pretty tough, guys. She is really a freaking monster. Now, I have a CTP of Rage on my Captain Marvel because that's another thing. If you have a CTP of Rage, this is the first character you should give it to, in my opinion. You should give it to her because of this right here. This increase all buff effect by 20% and duration by 30%. When you look at this Rage, guys, and you see this ignore boss damage decrease by 60%, that goes up by 20%. She ignores boss damage by 20% more than this. And the duration is 5 seconds. Well, whenever you put this thing on her, it lasts for 7 seconds. So she's getting like all these massive benefits to having this. And you know, I was actually asked not too long ago, you know, how much more damage would you get by putting a rage on her compared to having a damage proc? And then I said pretty much about double the power. She is ridiculous with this damn thing on her. Freaking monstrosity. Now let's take a look at the rest of these. Let's look at her tier 3 real quick. Now her tier 3 does have penetration. She has ignored defense for 5 seconds, stun, fracture, silence, fear. All these are good things, but the thing that it isn't showing here in text is that it has ignore iframe as well. So her 4 skill has ignore iframe, her tier 3 has ignore iframe. So now in Timeline you usually won't get to your tier 3, usually you'll lose your character before that happens, but if you can get that tier 3 off, you'll have the ignore iframe. So if someone's in an iframe, you'll freaking devastate them. You will destroy them. Plus, she can penetrate everything for that 3 seconds. Now, usually, though, you won't get to the tier 3. Usually, she'll die before she gets to that point, or she'll win. You take a look at the 1 skill here. It's got a nice little stun. The 2 skill here, stun, fracture, which is nice for helping remove those heals. Look at the 3 skill here. She has stun, more fracture. And then you look at the passive here. She gives herself super armor, which is amazing, guys, and increases her all defense by 35%. Her 4 skill, we already looked at that. And then her 5th skill, which is very awesome. Gives her a 15% all attack, all speed buff, crit rate buff by 15%. Well, you know what? Actually, I shouldn't even said that thing about Deadpool. You only need 60% crit rate and you'll max out your critical rate whenever you use this 5th skill. Now it's on a 35-second cooldown, which means, you got to cut that time in half, which means it's on a 17.5-second cooldown. So you're not going to be able to keep this up all the time, but most of the time. And you got that 15% increase of all attack, which is freaking awesome. It's pretty mean, guys, and removes active buff from target. And then, of course, her leadership, which is that 30% increase of energy tech. Now, we're not going to be utilizing that today. She has a fully awakened Power of Angry Hawk set, and she has the CTP of Rage, obviously, and the Mythic Uni. Now, let's real quickly take a look at the uniform options here. The first uniform is Magneto, best uniform that he has to offer, and we got the Dodge for that Rage. The second uniform is the Thor Infinity War. Good uniform, but the in-game uniform is better, but this is a great stat to have. Then we have the Elektra uniform. Really don't need this because this stat can give you some ignore defense. If you take a look here, you can get some ignore defense, recovery rate, skill cooldown. If you need any of these stats, this would be a good uniform to have. And then you take a look at the next uniform. We have Pimtron. This is an excellent uniform to rank up because in the Ant-Man and Wasp Legendary Battle, you can get a CTP selector from having this uniform in Mythic. So I highly recommend getting this uniform to Mythic so you can get any CTP that you want. And the last uniform is frickin' Coulson, which you got to pay crystals for, which really sucks because this is a great stat. And I got that dodge here for that CTP of Rage. And that's why my dodge is maxed out. So guys, we're going to push this girl. We're just going to take her in one world boss, and that's going to be against the big purple monkey. So let's see how she does. Let's rock and roll. Okay guys, so here we are. We're going to be using the max team that we can get. We're going to be using Nick Fury for that 50% all-attack leadership and that 55% damage dealt to supervillains. We're going to be using White Fox for that 60% damage dealt to supervillains as long as your character has leadership, which Captain Marvel does have. We're going to be using the co-op as much as we can because we're going to be trying to push this as much as we can. And this is stage 45, guys. 45. And this is one of the reasons that I say this should be your first tier 3. She is a monstrosity, especially with the CTP of Rage. Now, I know a lot of you guys might use it for PvP, and if you do, you should have a CTP of Destruction on her to give her that penetration, because she doesn't get it in any of her skills, just on her tier 3. And like I said in Timeline, usually you won't even get to the tier 3, so you want to be able to have that penetration on your skills, and that's where the CTP of Destruction is very handy. And yeah, guys, we're just pouring on. And just remember, guys, she could go further than this. If my crit damage was maxed out, I guarantee you I could go higher than this. In fact, I know this girl can do probably stage 50. But her Achilles heel is the tornadoes. Them damn things can get a hold of her pretty easy because she has little hesitations before she does her 2. She has a little hesitation before she does her 3. And even a small hesitation before she does the 4. She can get caught in the tornadoes pretty easy, so you have to be very careful about when you're using them skills. See them tornadoes? You gotta watch out for that crap. Something else to know when you're playing her is that her skills, you can't just, when you're using one of her skills, you can't just run away. You need to switch your character if you're in danger. And what I find, guys, because you're using with this team up anyways, when you're using White Fox and Nick Fury, they come in as strikers a hell of a lot for Captain Marvel. Well, the problem is, say I use Nick Fury. I'm using Captain Marvel, and then I switch to Nick Fury because I need to. Right? And then I need to switch to another character. Well, the problem is, if the other character is coming in as a striker, I cannot tag my character out to switch the other one in that's being used as a striker at that moment, which really sucks, guys. I died quite a few times because of that. There'd be moments where I'd have Captain Marvel and I need to switch her, and I couldn't switch her because the characters were coming in as strikers, and that was pretty damn annoying. Now, that's nothing against Captain Marvel. She's amazing. But yeah, that's kind of a downfall when you're using this team up anyways. And you notice sometimes I'll hit the co-op and it doesn't go off, and that's because, she might be in a skill and they won't let you use the co-op. But we're trying to do the best we can. You want to pick up those heals. And with Captain Marvel, you definitely want to have anti-venom because she really doesn't have much for survivability except for the iframes. And like I said, she's got them hesitations at the beginning of her the little small hesitation at the beginning of the 4 and a hesitation before the 2 and before the 3, and she can take damage. So that's something to keep in mind. But she's a pretty easy character to play for the most part, and something that we are utilizing is trying to utilize Nick Fury's attack buff, plus he's giving that immunity bubble. So when we're in that, we are fine. We're not going to take damage as long as we're in that immunity bubble. Now there I got caught in that freaking time freeze. Let's run over here. And this really is pushing it, guys. This was a very, very difficult thing for her to do on my account. Stage 45 is very, very hard. And there are a few characters to do this. I took quite a bit of damage there from the purple, which really freaking sucked, but that's alright. We're going to hang in there and get it done, guys. And I just love it. See, look at this, guys. We're ignoring Thanos' iframe, able to do damage while he's in an iframe. That is amazing. And that's something I love about her when you're playing her. I mean, she can get a hold of anybody no matter what. It's really one of the big reasons why she's so powerful, especially in PvP. But in PvE, she also has her usefulness. I mean, she's the ABX meta. You can use her twice a week, each week. She is insane, like Namor, like Luna. But the difference is she's not a paywall. She just isn't, guys. She's completely free to play. Captain Marvel really is an amazing character, you know. She is just strong as hell. And something I like about her is she's just powerful. Her skills do a crap ton of damage. Now, her tier 3 doesn't really do a lot of damage, and that's why the Deadpool method, we wouldn't be doing that with Thanos, but the Deadpool method, using White Fox and Deadpool, and then maybe using Captain Marvel won't work that well because her tier 3 doesn't do that much damage. It's her skills. It's that 4, that 2, that 3. Them damn, especially her 4 and 3. Those things do a tremendous amount of damage, guys. I mean, look at this crap. Now, come on, girl. You can get it done. Come on, girl. You almost got it. Come on. Come on, come on. Yes! 1 second left, guys. Pushing it to the brink. Captain Marvel tearing it up. So guys, let me know what you think about Captain Marvel, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.